I love Warriors. The series created by Aaron Hunter, who's actually a 700 middle-aged woman in a trench coat probably, is about domestic cats living in the forest who decide to beat each other up. At least in the simplest terms possible, that is. The series has spanned over 30 main books, 10 big boy books, 10 manga, a whole plethora of ebooks, maybe possibly a movie, and 5 guides that you're going to want to read if you want to understand what's going on at all. And with this amount of success, you're going to want to stretch that high reader base of oddly violent children as thin as you can, which has led us to the wonderland known as the Official Warriors website. This site was my holy grail as a kid, and it's obvious to see why. The pure amount of wrong Warrior Cats facts, art, maps, and other stuff just blew my mind. I mean, look, this FAQ hasn't been updated since at least 2010. How can you not love this site? But even still, deep within this site, there's a game. An official Warrior Cats game that nobody talks about. The New Prophecy quest, based off the journey discovering the Lake Territories. And with all the people who ask and beg for a Warrior Cats game, I'm surprised to see how nobody talks about this. It's hard to find anybody even mention the Warrior Cats site at all, unless they're talking about the old name generator. But now, I want to put my hands in and figure out why this game is so forgotten, despite how accessible it is. Why has the Warriors fandom hidden this from their collective memories? Surely, this Flash game can't be that bad, right? So if we jump right into the game, we can see the title screen. First impressions are everything, and these ones sure are impressions, alright. We're getting to so many things fighting for dominance on the screen that it's overwhelming. The blurb tells us that we're in the clan's new home, and thus we've got to figure out everything that's happening in here. Also, it says do your duty as a warrior, but you're not a warrior, you're an apprentice. But who cares? We've got books and can learn more, but it takes you to a 404 screen instead. That says ops instead of oops. We haven't started the game yet, and it's glorious. That's not the only case of dead links, though. If we try to go through the instructions, which are pretty necessary to understand this game, it just takes us to a black screen. I tried to go to the original site to figure out what happened, but it's literally a blank page that says books and games. I don't know why I even bother. We can also send an e-card. No, thank God it's sent, because this is dire. If we actually hop into the game, we're greeted by the name generator, where if we enter a name in town, we get a name. Tanglepaw, the OC of Bepsy from Pepsiville. We're then forced to click our clan, all of whom have a certain advantage. Thunder Clan gets to fight things with 2 extra hit points. One clan gets to move farther on the field. River Clan doesn't lose health for walking on water, and Shadow Clan can walk diagonally. You know, the one thing that only vicious, scary cats can do. We let the game pick Shadow Clan for us because Tanglepaw is evil and move on to see the abhorrent selection of 15 stock photos of cats that each have 30 Mozziac filters ran over them. That cat looks up to the task ahead. Yeah, keep telling yourself that, buddy. Now we have to roll for our stats. This is a taste of what is to come, so I sure hope you like dice. We get 3 changeable stats and 4 unchangeable stats. Health, Hunger, and Thirst are 3 don't let this drop to 0 meters that are affected by different things in game, but you get a certain amount of each beforehand. But if we're going on a big journey, shouldn't the medicine cats make sure we're prepared? Normally they give traveling herbs to make sure everything is fine, like there's a whole page of just plain exposition. But unsurprisingly, this game does not care about Warriors lore all too much. We also get a strength, defense, speed, and skill stats. Your number for these is the dice you roll when you need to use a stat. So if you get a strength stat of 12, it's like rolling a dice with 12 sides every time you use the strength stat. Strength determines how hard you can hit, defense determines how much damage you'll take, speed determines how many spaces you can move during the movement phase, and skill determines whether or not the Hindenburg disaster of 1937 occurs. After 3 pages, we finally get to actually play the game. The main goal of this game is to collect vital items for your camp and bring them to the moon pool. Why an apprentice is tasked with all of this by themselves, I have no earthly idea. Our first step is to roll the die, and you know what I said earlier about hoping you like die? Yeah, this is the main reason why. You want to move? Roll the die. You want to hunt? Roll the die. You want to fight? You have got to roll this die. This would be fine, in my opinion, if this was used sparingly, but it's the main mechanic of the game. If you're not into dice rolling, then the game is just tedious. By the way, I sure hope you like the sound of silence. When you start the game, your first instinct may be to walk around, but this is a mistake. Just stop in your tracks. Stop. After you finish walking, you're taken to the action stage, where we get 6 options. Battling, hunting, and drinking only work if there's something on a tile that can be battled, hunted, or drinked. So using it without knowing is a straight up waste. Checksum is literally always necessary. If you don't check the scent before you go into any area, you'll probably lose. It shows what areas are occupied by something. Using Explorer, you can see what occupies that tile, which is needed especially if you're trying to get prey. Finally, resting sometimes gives you health back. It's basically what you can do if you don't need to do anything else, but trying to find herbs on red tiles is better. We're actually spawned in the world's worst location, a giant lake. Unless you're a river clan cat, you lose health every time you're in a water tile, which ends up costing us a lot of damage. We get the first vital item, a water supply, and move on to the next area. Surprisingly, there's actually another vital item on here too, which is honestly a pretty rare occurrence, but we're killed by a badger immediately after. The game likes to pretend that you'll recover, but yeah, Tinglepaw is dead. Sorry guys. I decide to try again, and the imposter Bepsi from Coca-Cola Town is granted the name of Undefined Paw. Yeah, the game doesn't really like it when you enter in symbols, but it doesn't not allow them. So undefined is a valid prefix, and I will not hear anybody tell me otherwise. This game is official, and that should be accepted in the Warrior Cats canon. Undefined Paw is part of Winclan, but she sucks at running. We're thrown into a better place, thankfully, but the game straight up becomes tedious at this point. The lack of music makes it so the game just drags, along with the repetitive gameplay, if you can even call it that. Missingno Paw fails to eat berries or catch prey despite having a skill stat of 12, but can fight a whole dog just fine despite her weakest stat being strength. The thirst system is really weird because it chooses how much thirst the water gives you, but shouldn't the cat just keep drinking? If the water doesn't fill them enough, they just keep drinking. That's how cats work. But we move on into a two-leg road where there's 3 monsters which are definitely breaking traffic laws, but we avoid them skillfully by stepping on glass. Undefined Paw fails at more stuff because she's a master at failing. As we go on, we fight a badger, bringing back memories of Tanglepaw so violent that Undefined Paw leaves. It's never mentioned, but leaving a battle makes you lose one of your health, hunger, and thirst points. And honestly, I do enjoy this. It gives a reason to not flee, but I wish that it also gave more of an incentive to fight rather than just not wanting to lose points. 40,000 years pass when we finally find the second vital supply, but a cougar guards it. A cougar. In the middle of the forest. And it kills Undefined Paw. Honestly, for a game that's mainly marketed towards 5th graders, it's incredibly difficult. I actually gave up, and honestly, I expect most people, especially kids, to have given up before getting to the end. The fact that this game is based mainly on luck means you've got to play through the whole long, dragging game to beat it. But if we did continue on, you go on to the undefined steps in the moon pool where you're rewarded with your warrior name. And again, I think this is a cool reward. Too bad it's the same name that's been used for the name generator that was free, available, without any tedious gameplay for over a decade. They both use the same system. Sure, since the warrior name generator has mysteriously disappeared, it's a bit better, but why? Why wouldn't they at the very least make a new name generator for this? And honestly, like I said, I enjoy this reward, but it's no way, shape, or form an acceptable reward for the tedious, exhausting gameplay. The game does have its good ideas, and to be fair, it is a no-budget Flash game made by a tired HarperCollins employee, so it is the world's easiest target, but I do wish there was even a bit of quality there. There used to be another game on the site, a 2D side-scroller called the Warrior's Adventure game, but that's also gone for no reason that I'm aware of, and that at least had music. It was bad music, but it was music nonetheless. And gameplay-wise, it was really fun. It didn't shoot too high for a Flash game. Looking at other Warrior Cats games, Untold Tales has its own problems, but it's easy to see that it's a lot better than this. I really dislike this game. And it's sad, because I really think a Warriors game could be cool, especially one that's official. But this, it's a bad start. Try it out if you want. It's at the lowball price of nothing, so it's not going to cost you anything but your soul. However, yeah, this is just not good, even for a Flash game. Never to fear though, since Flash is being killed by 2020, the game's also going to die. Left to never rain fear on Warrior Cats ever again. Wait, oh my god, my childhood's going to die.